In this lecture video, we are going to discuss about the common base configuration. Common base configuration of BJT amplifier. So common base configuration of a BJT amplifier, both PNP and NPN transistor. Both PNP and NPN transistor. So it is a common base. First we discuss about the PNP transistor. PNP. PNP means symbol is inside. Okay. PNP. P in means inside, so arrow should be inside. Okay. So this is base. This is emitter. This is collector. This is a PNP transistor. PNP. In means arrow is inside. So this is the symbol of BJT PNP transistor. Now we have to make this PNP transistor is common base configuration. Common base amplifier configuration. So in order to make the base terminal as common, I want to rotate the symbol in this manner. I just rotate the symbol in this direction. Now the arrow P in P, this is P in P. In means arrow is inside. P in P. This is base terminal, this is collector, this is emitter. Okay. So the first we should know, in common base configuration, emitter to base junction is input. So input terminal is emitter. Collector to base port, collector to base junction is the output port. That is, collector is the output terminal. Okay. In the layer diagram of BJT transistor, bipolar junction transistor, PNP. So the first P layer, is the emitter, the middle layer N layer is the base, the last P layer is the collector. Okay, this is a PNP transistor layer diagram. Here, this arrangement we have to make it as amplifier. So the condition for amplifier, input is forward bias, output port is reverse bias. In the PN junction, PN, P gets positive, N gets negative, then it is forward bias. In the PN junction, P gets negative, N gets positive, P gets negative, N gets positive, then it is a reverse bias. Say input is forward bias. The emitter layer is the P-type semiconductor. Base layer is the N-type semiconductor. Collector is the P-type layer, P-type semiconductor layer. So input is forward bias. Forward bias means P gets positive, N gets negative. So P gets positive, N gets negative. P gets positive, P gets positive, N gets negative, then it is a forward bias. Similarly, on the output side, reverse bias. P gets negative, N gets positive is the reverse bias. So P terminal gets negative, N gets positive. P P gets negative, N gets positive. Then the output port is a reverse bias. This arrangement is the common base configuration for the PNP transistor. Similarly, we can see the NPN transistor. So we have to draw the same diagram, but in the symbol arrow only we have to change. This is NPN transistor. Arrow is outward. PNP means arrow inward. NPN means arrow is outward. In the common base terminal common for input output. Emitter is input terminal, collector is output terminal. Emitter base junction is the input port. Collector base junction is the output port. The second letter B indicates the common base configuration. Okay. In the layer diagram, this one is a NPN transistor. So the first layer is N, middle layer is P, the last layer is N. The first layer N is the emitter, middle layer P is the base, the last layer N is the collector. So in NPN transistor, emitter terminal is the N-type semiconductor, base terminal is the P-type semiconductor, collector is the N-type semiconductor. We have to make this arrangement is amplifier. So input side, this is input, this one is output. Input side should be forward bias. So output side is the reverse bias. Okay. So input forward bias means N layer gets negative with respect to the base layer. Input is N layer gets negative, P layer gets positive, then it is a forward bias. Here output is reverse bias. So N layer gets positive, P layer gets negative. N layer gets positive, P layer gets negative, then it is a reverse bias. Then it is a reverse bias. Okay. So common base arrangement for NPN transistor. Here negative to emitter, positive to base. Whereas here PNP transistor, positive to the emitter, negative to the base. Okay. In PNP transistor, the biasing arrangement is like this. In NPN transistor, biasing is completely reversed, like this. Okay. In the PNP transistor, output port is reverse bias. So P gets negative, N gets positive. Negative, positive, whereas here positive, negative. The reason is N layer gets positive, P layer gets negative. It should be the reverse bias. Okay. This arrangement is called as a common base configuration. How to bias the common base PNP and NPN transistor clearly explained in this video. I hope that this may be useful for the electronics students. Kindly subscribe the channel, share this video to your friends and like the video also. I hope that this may be very useful for you. Thanks for watching.